What's up? This is Metal Nate.
This is Brutal Brian.
And we are here with Mark Heylmun.
Yeah, dude. And you said it right.
I was like, crap, I'm not going to forget this after messing it up once. How's Mayhem Fest going for you guys?
Oh, it's great. It's just hot every day. There's always tons of crazy people hanging out and lots of badass bands. Just fun.
Who are you excited to hang out with like this round through?
I hang out with Machine Head and Unearth a lot. Been hanging out with Chris Norris from Straight Line Stitch. Pretty much literally this is kind of like a reunion tour kind of thing, because like we've toured with almost every band on this tour aside from like Godsmack, and just seeing everybody again, and yeah, I don't know, just hanging out with everybody.
And that's a pretty epic beard you've got going on today.
It's like half epic. It used to be crazier. It used to be like
huger, but
this massive thing, and now it's summer, dude. It's too hot. I had to cut some of it off.
No, it's understandable. I was wondering how are you even doing that today? It's like 100 out.
Yeah, well, no, everyone complains like every day like it's like the hottest day of Mayhem, but really every day I still think about Phoenix, Arizona, and how it's just stupid dry and stupid hot and just ridiculous. So it's all right.
Okay.
There's at least a little bit of a breeze right now.
Yeah. Yeah. If there was no breeze, I would just die.
Yeah.
You just put a new album out on July 12th, The Black Crown.
Yep.
And that's your last album with Century Media.
Last album on the contract we signed, yeah.
Okay. How have fans been responding to it so far? How's the response been?
I am not the guy that goes on the internet and like searches out for everything. I've read a few reviews and I read what people tell me on Twitter, and so far so good. Everyone's like, it's your best album, and like, you know, stuff, all that good stuff. So far so good. There's one review where someone was like saying like they've abandoned their deathcore sound and now they're like a heavy metal band, and it's like, that, I guess that makes sense, but at the same time, like, what the I don't know. I don't really understand the deathcore sound thing anyway. We've always been a metal band, and now we're just kind of expanding and we don't want to put the same record out again, you know? So, yeah, response as well. Sold well. It's number 28 on the Billboard right now.
Yeah, I was about to ask about that. How does that feel for you guys? It just broke way into the Billboard charts.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's cool. It's not something that we like think about, like, you know, what chart position we're going to be on. Because, like, really, I think in the end, it just kind of matters how well of a show you'll go out and put on. I mean, if we can be on a tour like this and go out and put on a good show, then, you know, that can do more than wonders than any record sales are ever going to do. And, but it's cool. It's really fucking awesome.
Okay, fair enough. And the album, I mean, it's not, like people have said it's a big departure, but it's not a huge departure from No Time to Bleed. You do have some new elements in it, and I think you guys are a lot tighter on the album. Like music-wise and musicianship-wise.
Yeah, I mean, I see where, I mean, we definitely were like going on a path with No Time to Bleed of wanting to be like technical and be like super, you know, more death metal than we have been before. And then once we did it and once we realized we were done with it, we were like, kind of wanted to just go more on like the groove aspect. And with this, we just kind of like trimmed the fat. I've been saying that a lot. Like, we took all the elements that we thought like that is like super easy for us to write. Like, we don't need this kind of like filler stuff, you know? Like, we just write things because it would just fill a space from this riff to this riff. And we just took the best riffs and just kind of wrote, you know, something we thought that sounds like concise. And, you know, every riff to me is pretty memorable.
Was there any pressure following No Time to Bleed for this record?
I guess so. I mean, there was more pressure following the cleansing, I think, into No Time to Bleed. And then once we like put out No Time to Bleed and saw how that did, and how it was like, we don't really even know how we wrote that record. It's just like that record came out of nowhere, and like I didn't know how people were going to respond to it. And that response was great, so it kind of just put me and everybody in the mindset of like, we can do whatever the fuck we want, like, let's just have fun with it, and say the world ends in fucking 2012, at least we put out The Black Crown. It's like a record we're really proud of.
Fair enough. Where did the idea to get guest vocals from Jonathan Davis of Korn and Frank Mullen from Suffocation?
Well, the Jonathan Davis thing was, we wanted him on the record. You know, we knew we wanted him on the record, and we wrote that song, and we're like, if this happens, you know, this is going to be the song with Jonathan on it, and hopefully it works out. I mean, the idea was just basically like, we wanted something that's like, kind of something that would step us apart from everybody else that is in this genre thing, the deathcore thing, yeah. Like, we just wanted to do something that like not other bands would, one, be capable of doing, two, even think of doing, and you know, because we've met the Korn guys before, and like all it was just like a, hey, will you do this? It's like, sure. And then same with Frank Mullen, you know, we kind of just did this different spectrum. You know, we had like the new metal and then like super fucking old school death metal, which is like kind of where we come from, you know. It's like we come from where we were kids and what was happening in metal was new metal, and when we're, you know, once we actually like start diving into things and listening to music on our own, it was like Suffocation, Morbid Angel, you know, all the old school shit. So like we just wanted to go get both spectrums of, you know, our influence on one record. And
that's really cool to put it that way, actually.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do, so.
Awesome. And what's You Only Live Once about? It sounds like someone, I read in a review online that they thought that he was just pounding monsters when he wrote that song or something like that. It's like pounding monster or Rockstar, sorry, from Rockstar Engineering Festival.
I think it comes from being on tour, and like when you get into the mode where it's like I've been on tour for like 5 months and I'm kind of just over everything right now, like you kind of have to like look at what you're doing and remember you only live once, and just like go fucking nuts when you're on stage and you're tired and you're fucking, you know, you have to go out and like perform and be the fucking dude that everybody came to see. Like it's kind of like you have to get on stage, you only live once, go fucking nuts, you only get one shot, you know, like it's just about like appreciating what you have around you and living your life.
Okay. OCD is one title, as one of the titles of the tracks. I understand that Mitch Lucker has OCD.
Mm-hmm.
I read in an interview that he's always, is it true that he's always like smoking in order to not like have to think about it?
He smokes a lot of weed, but it's not, I mean, he's kind of like the weed smoker that he'll like take like 2 hits like every like half hour, like doesn't get super lit, like he'll just smoke a little bit of weed just like to chill out. But it's more so like it's constant thought process. Like he's always thinking about something and he'll stress himself out, and then you gotta be like, shut the fuck up, just like chill out, like fucking drink a beer and just like don't worry about it, you know. You don't need to worry about it right now. It's just like like the snowball effect, you know. Like once you start thinking one thing and then it'll go and go and go, and that's why it's like I can't sleep. So many voices trying to talk to me, kind of thing. Like, because yeah, that'll affect when you're trying to fall asleep, laying there, you know, and it's just like you can't stop thinking. So that's kind of where that came from.
So is that how his OCD like affects the band in that sense, because he's always stressed, or does that not affect you guys at all?
It affects us in more of a better way than a good way. Sometimes, I mean, like everyone's tempers will clash because we're all, you know, we all think about the band and we all fucking do our part, and everybody works on different things. So it's like sometimes if you know, one person is thinking too hard about one subject and that subject's already done and dead, like, you know, I guess it could just kind of result in like a shut the fuck up kind of situation. But I mean, we're all fucking friends, and you know, we yell at each other all the time.
Okay, cool. And so he just copes with it then by smoking and just like sort of like getting it out in the music. Yeah,
definitely. And definitely when he goes out on stage, it's kind of like he's like a whole different fucking dude, and he's just on his own fucking rig. And I mean, that's kind of the way we all are, you know, like we're all pretty mellow and nice when you talk to us, but then when you look at us on stage, it's like, you know, are these even the same people kind of thing. Okay.
And this is your, as you said before, this is your last record on Century Media, like, that you're contractually obligated to do. Are you guys like completely open right now, like as far as where you're heading after this?
Yeah, right now we're pretty much free agents. Like, I mean, we're still with Century throughout this record cycle, and they're still, you know, they're still contractually and we're still contractually on it, as, you know, they're working for us on this label or on this record and the cycle. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, we're open for anything. We don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of letting it go and enjoying the ride. We're gonna write another record. Well, maybe we'll do a DIY record. You know, maybe we'll put out like an EP just on
your own label or something.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I mean, there's been a little bits of talks like that. I wanted to do that, but I don't really know. We'll probably end up talking about it like around Christmas, because that's like our next time when we have off. So basically, we're just like totally booked up and touring all the way up until Christmas. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty extreme.
Yeah. That's where like the real stress comes from. People are like, "Do you enjoy doing what you do?" It's like, well, yeah, as long as we get to travel, as long as we're not like, you know, touring one area like constantly, then it gets kind of weird. It's just like, oh my god, I was just here like 2 months ago, like kind of thing. But I mean, no, like after this, we're going to Australia, then we're doing Europe, we're doing Southeast Asia, we're going to South America, doing like pretty much a world tour, and we'll be done for Christmas. So
it's a good deal then.
Yeah, it's cool.
So you're not shopping around yet then?
Not really.
Are there any? You said there were. You've been stoked to kind of hang out with the Unearth guys, and is there any? I know you guys tend to party a little bit. A little bit, maybe an understatement, but. I know Unearth has a reputation for drinking a lot.
Oh,
Have you guys been getting in on that at all?
Well, yeah, well, we had like an Edward 40 hands party where everyone was taping 40s to their hands. And so everyone had their hands taped up with 40s, and we were also in Denver, Colorado, so we were a mile high. So I don't know if you've ever been to Denver and drank. You get drunk really fast, and then you get hungover even faster because it's like, but it goes away fast because you're so fucking high in the sky. But I think everyone had about 2 or 3 40s each. And Mile High, and it just turned into like we call it the first Mayhem Follies, because like eventually there's parties and someone falls over at the party. Like it's like, who is the first person to fall at the party? And I don't really remember because I was so fucking drunk, but I saw a lot of people fall that night.
I hope they didn't have the 40 still taped to their hands.
No, I think everyone was smart enough to like just take it. Yeah, I don't even know. I mean,
if you're a guitar player or a bass player,
I know you're
like
fucked.
Or a drummer, yeah.
No, I know. Well,
anything but a singer, you're fucked.
Yeah, Chris tattooed, Norris, fucking Straight Line Stitch, tattooed his hand and the palm of his hand that day too. And I'm like, why are you tattooing your hand? He's just like, he has a torn rotator cuff right now. He's like, my hand's numb right now. I might as well just tattoo it right now. I was like, all right, fuck.
He's still playing with that?
Oh yeah, he's still playing. He plays like this. He just watches his hand the whole time. It's weird, but he shreds, dude.
Well, is there any parting words or last words you want to say about the Black Crown for fans to check it out? Or?
I mean, just check it out, and anybody that bought it, I mean, it's a lot of, much appreciated. It's what's going to keep us on tour. It's it's what's going to keep us relevant. And pick it up. If you've downloaded it and you like it, go buy it. It fucking rules. I love it. So.
Awesome.
Thanks, man.
Thank you very much for doing this interview today.
No
really
problem.
appreciate it.
Yeah.